This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a private bank where he was employee 427. Stanley's job was complicated. He sat at his desk and he evaluated the loan disbursement request of his clients. Requests came to him through papers and he made complex calculations to decide whether it's possible to approve the demanded loan. Bad news, Stanley. Another client came in. The client was among the bank's most valuable customers. He had a big company and he needed urgent money to pay his debts and continue his work. The client told Stanley that he did not have very much time. He said that he had brought the necessary documents with him and gave them to Stanley. For Stanley, customer satisfaction was the most important part of his job. In order to meet his needs immediately, he put aside all other work and gave priority to his client. Stanley reviewed the documents. However, the information on these documents was not enough to approve his request. What a pity. This meant that Stanley would need much more time to complete this process. Stanley went to the archive room to get all the other information on the client. He needed the customer details, limits, risks, and collaterals to decide whether his client was eligible for a loan disbursement. Wow, look at this room! What a mess! How does Stanley find any necessary information in this room? What can we say? Good luck, Stanley. Oh, finally! These were the boxes Stanley was searching for. Let's find out how much the client's limit was. Oops! This is something that happens to Stanley every day of every month of every year. Hey Stanley, are you okay? Although others may have considered it simple, Stanley goes through all the documents related to that customer with frustration, not to make a single calculation error again and again. Wouldn't it be great to have a system that will make your work easier? As the Linktera4Banking team, we analyze, we execute, and we aim to transform the future of the loan disbursement process. Let's take a quick look at our tech stack. We use SAS Intelligent Decisioning from the SAS VIYA environment, which runs on Microsoft Azure. Thanks to its amazing analytical power, we can easily build business models and make complex calculations in seconds. Another hero of our solution is Neula, a low-code, no-code platform. One of the best examples of composable applications. By Neula, designing complex workflows and user interfaces can be completed within hours. By using these platforms that communicate with each other through API calls and provides real-time data transfer, banks will improve customer experience, increase employee productivity, and mitigate operational risks. How does this sound to you, Stanley? Let's start over. Hey Stanley, meet Neula. Neula will help you get all information related to the customer and ease your decision process. Go ahead, search for your customer. Wow, you reached all this customer information, including group information and financial information, by just one click. This is amazing! Let's continue with the loan disbursement entry. After clicking the button, details of the loan disbursement are visible. In this section, you can fill in all the necessary information, such as the loan amount, loan period, etc. Hey, look! The payment plan button is winking at you. The system should have automatically calculated the payment plan based on the information you entered. Please review the payment plan. I think you're done with this step. Push the button at the bottom of the screen and go to the next step. Your next step is existing limit and collaterals. Come on, don't be afraid. This won't hurt you like the limit box fell on your head. You can see all the necessary information, such as existing credit lines, limit lines, and collaterals that show your client's creditability. Please press the Calculate Applicable Limit button and wait for the magic to happen. With this button, all information is gathered and sent to the SAS ID. The results of the model and calculations made with the help of the spectacular analytical power of the SAS ID are shown on the screen. Well, the client can get the loan indeed. There's one last step. Let's make your process approved. The approval screen contains all the information entered on the process. The user reviews and writes down a comment. Then he approves. Congratulations, Stanley! You have successfully completed your work. Wondering how the SAS ID did the magic when you clicked the button? Let's dive into it. In our solution, we are using ID to calculate available credit amount with respect to the client's current limit lines, loans, and collaterals. Here's how we do that. First, we need to collect the limit, loan, and collateral data of the client or group of clients from the core banking system by using data query nodes in ID. Here's an example of the data query that we use to get the approved limit lines of the client. After the collection of the data, we are ready to move on with business rule sets. We create an array of decision variables with indices like limit line, collateral type, etc. Each decision variable runs through the rule sets to find out if the client's specific collateral can be utilized in that limit line. For a variable to be valid, it must successfully pass all these rules. The ones that cannot pass are eliminated from the variable list. After obtaining the decision variables, the client's current loans, limit lines, and collateral values are assigned as a set of right-hand side values for the model constraints. In this node, we use an optimization model constructed in the SAS Model Manager. Here, you can see the mathematical representation of the model. In this model, our objective is to minimize the value of loans that are uncovered by a collateral. To achieve this, we create a set of slack variables to represent uncovered loans. Then, in the objective function, we minimize the total value of these slack variables. We use current loan, limit line, and collateral value constraints to find out if there will be uncovered loans and calculate the amount of uncovered loans. It is also possible to calculate the maximum credit available by slightly modifying the model. This can be done by setting a limit utilization value to 100%. Then the available credit amount can be calculated by subtracting the current loans and, if there is any, the uncovered amount that the model calculates from the total limit. Stanley, admit it. You're impressed by what I've told you. And you can be sure that we will continue to transform the future.